Hi everyone, it's Jo, and I want to apologize for being absent from the group for so long. To be honest, I'm just unable to meet the demands of the group now that it has grown to over 500 members. Whilst I think it's great that we are growing, I also think it's a bit of an indictment on how many caregivers are out there struggling on their own or looking for support or trying to find ways to adapt or normalize their experiences. Now, whilst I'm unable to attend to all the comments, if you tag me and you need my feedback or response to a comment, by tagging me, I will be notified and I'll attempt to respond. But I note that everyone has been supporting each other really well. And I mean, that's the idea of the group. It really is to be able to look at our own experiences in light of others and to know that no matter what, there's always someone better off and someone worse off than ourselves. So through that process of normalization, the outcome is that we feel we're okay, we're doing all right, and we are all in this together. So thank you for your support of each other, and I urge you to continue doing that. I want to make a brief comment about fear and anxiety, because fear and anxiety has been raising its ugly head in my life a little bit lately. And this idea that we can eliminate fear or eliminate anxiety, I want to put a stop to that now, because if that is your expectation, then it's unrealistic. Fear and anxiety are normal human responses. They serve a purpose. They are there for a reason. They are adaptive emotional functions. Without them, well, it would be scary what would happen without them. Because if you think the way that fear and anxiety have evolved or have been created, whatever your belief preference is, it's to alert us to a potential threat. So if there is a signal that something may be dangerous or overwhelming or exceeds our capacity to cope, then there is a neurochemical response that occurs that alerts our body to react. So our muscles are tightened so that we're ready to respond to that threat. Our pupils will dilate, allowing us to be able to receive more visual information. Chemicals such as adrenaline and cortisol are pumped through our body, getting us ready to respond. So fear and anxiety are there as adaptive functions. But sometimes what happens is that the threat, the stimulus that has created this signal of danger has now resolved. It's gone. And yet we're still acting in a way that would suggest we're in an anxiety-inducing situation. So why is it that our bodies stay in this heightened state of tension, of alertness, hypervigilance, fear, when there really is no threat? And the answer is relatively simple. It's the way we interpret the situation. So if you are still interpreting everything in your life as fearful, as frightening, as anxiety-inducing, then you're going to be continually exposing yourself to all these neurochemicals and all the adverse responses therein. So I've said it before, and you perhaps should be able to already know what I'm going to say, but the event has no meaning. You give meaning to the event. You have to start thinking about things in a new way. Nothing has to be overwhelming unless you choose it to be. Now, that doesn't mean the situation isn't legitimate. It isn't valid. Absolutely, we go through tough times in life, and situations are, by their own nature, overwhelming. They're challenging. They're hard. But we are resilient creatures and we can cope. We have been created, evolved, adapted to be able to take on challenges and get through. Now, sometimes when I'm having a bad day and I think the world is on my shoulders and life is caving in on itself, I have to stop myself in my tracks and say, no, I'm not going to think that way, and change the focus of my thoughts. By changing the focus of my thoughts, I can calm down this hypervigilant state. I actually can affect the neurochemistry and biological responses of my body purely through the way I think. And this has been proven through various studies. Negative thoughts will induce negative responses. Positive thoughts, or believing that you can cope, you can manage the situation, you can get out of this situation with competence, and self-efficacy will create the same sort of positive outcome. Yes, you can think yourself out of a stressful situation. The event, the situation itself, will remain the same. It's not going to change. There will still be storms in your life, but you can find peace in the storm. It is possible. Then, when you're thinking differently and your neurochemistry, your biology is responding positively to that new adaptive way of thinking, you will also find that you are doing things differently. Your behavior changes, your body language changes. Think about it. When you're frightened, or think of an animal that's frightened, there are clear body signals that tell us, without any use of language, that that person's fearful, that they're feeling threatened, that they're not okay. Sometimes, you might bring your shoulders up, you might look down, you may not be able to make eye contact with people. Notice what you do with your body, because there is a therapy called sensorimotor therapy, and it suggests just the very way you hold your body can induce positive or negative feelings. It was brought to my attention by my daughter that when I'm anxious or stressed, I bring my hands up to my head. And I do. And now every time I'm feeling stressed, I notice when I do this. And instantly I say, no, I'm not going to do that. I reposition my body. I'm just going to reposition the camera because I just noticed it's way off. There we go. I reposition my body. I'll sit up straighter. I'll hold my head up. Sometimes I'll clap, or even just moving my arms, getting the blood moving, telling myself some positive affirmations. I'm okay. Can do this. I mean, it seems a bit silly, but it's changing that state, that internal state, from one of fear to one of confidence, one of determination, one of optimism. So notice what you're doing with your body. Are you hunching over? Are you holding your hands up? Are you diverting your eyes? That's a way of telling yourself, I'm afraid of the world, I can't look. Change your body, change your thoughts, and watch your emotions and your mood also respond to that. Change what you do, change your behaviors, instead of avoiding, which is the number one maintaining factor for depression and anxiety. Instead of avoiding, get out there and do it anyway. Do it anyway. When you least feel like it, that is when you most have to do it. So yes, tackle anxiety head on. Don't ever believe, or don't let anyone ever tell you, that you can eliminate anxiety or fear. Anxiety and fear are healthy, normal, adaptive human functions, and they serve a purpose. But when they have become maladaptive and you're living in a constant chronic state of fear and anxiety, well then something has gone awry. And I guarantee it's the way you think, the way you're positioning your body, the way you're responding to situations, that entire interpretation that's influencing that physiological response. You can interrupt that pattern. You do have control. Yes, you have the power to change that. The situation will stay the same, but you can come out of it okay. And that's the key point. When things are not okay, you can still be okay. Go and look on your Facebook pages and have a look how many times you've put up a comment, a post that's negative, that's saying that I can't do this anymore, I'm depleted, the world is against me, this is not going right, this sucks, that sucks. Go and have a look and go and delete them. Start changing it. Even if you don't believe you can, give this a go, because I can guarantee that through changing these 4 areas of your life, and let me just name them very quickly: the thoughts, the behaviors, the physiology, and the emotional response, you will impact the outcome. You can do this, and it's time to start believing that you can, and starting to reduce, not eliminate, but reduce and gain control of anxiety and fear in your life. That's it for now. Again, apologies for my absence for so long. Hopefully I can get on there and read through your posts. If you've got time to offer your services as a co-facilitator, I would more than welcome it. Send me a private message if you're able to do that. Until then, I wish everybody in the group a very happy and peaceful day, and I will be back talking with you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.